Pope Francis called it a penitential pilgrimage. The 85-year-old Pope crisscrossed Canada's vast landmass to meet the country's indigenous communities and hear their stories. Edmonton in the west was the first stop on this historic papal trip, where the Pope travelled south of the city to the community of Masswitches. At the site of a former residential school, there the Pope had a silent moment of prayer. In front of a large crowd, Pope Francis delivered his much-anticipated apology, one he had previously issued at the Vatican, but now this was on Canadian soil. Among the crowd was Karen Wildcat, an Indigenous woman who herself was at a residential school with her two brothers. She's hoping the apology will help her people.
For a lot of healing, a lot of reconciliation. My concern is that the hurt and the anger is going to keep being passed on to our children.
You think that there is no good that can come from it being passed on from generation to generation? To
be able to accept it and move on. That is my hope.
I am telling you once more that I am deeply sorry, Pope Francis told the people, an apology he would repeat a number of times on this visit. In response, the Indigenous elders and chiefs presented the Pope with Indigenous headgear, a mark of respect. At the Sacred Heart Church in Edmonton, which is the only church in all of Canada solely dedicated to the Indigenous community, the elder is Fernie Marty. The idea was that they wanted to take away your culture, your traditions, the way you had practiced your traditions.
We were paganistic in our ways of believing and the ways we follow as Indigenous peoples. We were punished for speaking our languages. The favorite word for us back in the school days was les sauvages.
Les sauvages, what does that mean?
Savages.
Savages.
That's what they referred to us.
Inside the Sacred Heart Church, Pope Francis reiterated his shame and sorrow at the hurt caused by Catholics during the era of Canada's residential school system. The Pope again met with the Indigenous people, including Elder Fernie Marty and his wife.
That to me, tremendous gift for my own personal healing journey to continue on. You know, that's how I see it.
Pope Francis's visit to Edmonton was hugely symbolic for the Indigenous people, especially when he visited their sacred Catholic site of Laksandan. There, the large, shallow and muddy lake has been revered as a place of spiritual significance and of healing for centuries. In his wheelchair, the Pope prayed by the lake before blessing a bowl of the lake's water. An estimated 50,000 people then attended Mass, celebrated by the Pope, at the Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Canada's largest stadium. The Pope reflected on the elderly, who he said should be honoured, who serve an example to the Church on how to pass on the faith in a loving way. Concelebrating the Mass with Pope Francis was Archbishop Richard Smith, the national coordinator for the entire papal trip in Canada.
Many good things were done. We can't forget that. Many good things were done. The early missionaries that came here to Western Canada, for example, they immersed themselves in the lives of the Indigenous peoples. They understood the beauty of the culture. They understood the importance of linguistic preservation. They created dictionaries. So a lot of great good took place, and we can't forget that. We can't allow it either, though, to whitewash some mistakes that were made.
After Edmonton, the Pope travelled east, where he touched down in Quebec City. There he met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other state officials. And at the Cathedral of Notre Dame, the Pope took part in evening prayer, talking about the importance of Christian joy, telling people when seas are rough, the storm is always on the surface, but the depths remain calm and peaceful. On the Pope's final day, he travelled to Canada's northmost and most sparsely populated territory of Nunavut. There he met indigenous people and again apologised once more. In front of a group of young people, he told them to always choose light over darkness and never to be disheartened, but to seek out what is good. Jesus never points his finger at you, he told them. He embraces you and encourages you because he believes in you, even at those times when you stop believing in yourself. So never lose hope, fight, give it your all, and you will not be sorry. The Pope then returned to the Vatican in Rome. Colm Flynn for EWTN News In Depth.